This will be you, and you will have to run away from your wife and her pre-loved pussy. Like, she's going to have 26 cocks of mileage on there, and you're going to have to pretend like you are not the 27th, but the first cock that is going inside of there. Today I'm going to convince you why you need to lock in now so you can avoid the fate of a pre-loved wife. Let's go. So first I'm going to show you what's going to happen if you don't lock in and you live a life with a pre-loved wife. So I'm just going to quickly sketch out your current situation, because most likely you're kind of a loser, you're still watching porn, you're still scrolling, your friends aren't that great. And then also, you wouldn't describe yourself as the guy who's amazing at talking to women. More likely, you're most likely like one of the guys who sees the women and then he wants to speak to her, but he's rarely ever doing it. So you're not attracting the girls, and you're also not going out there speaking to them, not even talking about flirting, like just speaking. You don't even do that shit. So where does this path lead? Where does this path of being a loser who shit with girls lead? Well, it's going to end up in a place where at some point you're going to be 30 years old and all of a sudden there's this girl that is into you. Like for some reason they've been ignoring you throughout your 20s, but then all of a sudden she's coming to you and suddenly she's like, oh yeah, I kind of want to get into a relationship with you. Now, why was she ignoring you in her 20s, and now that she's 30 she suddenly wants to lock you down? Well, because she has been fucking the guys that are attractive right now, the guys you see and you think, oh man, these guys are chats. She's been fucking those guys ever since she was 17 until she was 30, and now these guys see, oh man, like she's not really attractive anymore, I'd rather fuck like a 24-year-old. So she's now getting mad, and now she needs that, like the real man, aka you, to wife her up. Like when you're 30 and she's 30, she's going to say stuff like, oh yeah, like I dated a couple guys, but they all didn't want to commit. Like now I'm looking for the real man, and that you are, that she tries to convince you to be. And now she's ready to settle down with the guy who didn't do anything about being a loser who shit with girls. What she actually means when she says she's ready to settle down is that she can't attract the guys who just want to fuck her anymore, and now she needs a guy who's ready to commit to her. Like, you know that when she's like settling down with you, that she has been fucked for 13 years by like guys with large cocks, man, and they fucking, you know what they did. Like, she fucking deep-throated that shit. She was fucking doing anal with those guys, and now she's trying to pretend like to be this wife quality girl that wants to get married with you. Like, you do not want to be the guy who's had like 1 or 2 sexual experiences before, and then you want to marry the girl who's been fucked by 26 guys before you. And you might cope right now and say like, oh, but like her past is her past, and since she's not a hoe anymore, now I can wife her up, right? You know this is unfair. You know that she like gave her pussy for free to all the guys that came before you, and now you have to wife her up, now you have to pay full price. Bro, you should not aim to be this little cuck who has to marry her to get that pussy that is 30 years now, that maybe has like 1, 2, 3 more years of being like nice. Her past is not her past, because if you're actually an ambitious guy, then you will not be okay with settling for a woman that has like a lot of mileage on already. You are thinking, no. I know I can attract like a younger, less used girl. That's what I'm going to do. I'm not gonna marry this fucking old piece of meat. And I know this sounds so sexist, but it's true. And even if you didn't care that you had to pay full price while other guys got to fuck for free, and that there's been 26 cocks inside of her already, there's another reason why you do not want a pre-loved wife. You know what happens with her likeliness to cheat when she has had previous sexual experiences before you? It goes up dramatically. Like, look at this statistic right here. If she is fucked around before you, then you are going to get divorced. She's going to take half of your fucking money. She's going to take all of your kids. And then you are going to think like, damn, what the fuck did I even do? Why did I not listen to this YouTube video right now? Because I know the solution to avoid the pre-loved wife timeline. It is the Northstar Timeline, and I'm just going to give you a promise right here. If you lock in on the Northstar Timeline, you will be able to avoid the pre-loved wife timeline. So the Northstar Timeline gets its name from the Northstar method, which you can see right here. Today I'm going to talk about lifestyle and courage. If you want to know everything I know about dating, aka the full guide to the Northstar method, you can check it out in the first link in the description. But let's talk about lifestyle. The biggest thing you can do to improve your lifestyle is to become more attractive. And I know that sounds super vague because, oh yeah, like becoming more attractive, well, there's a few obvious things like going to the gym, building like a sexy body, but then there's also a few less obvious things, and that's why I want to give you a rule of thumb actually. So, the way to live an attractive lifestyle is to produce more than you consume. You hear that? Your lifestyle is attractive when in the end of the day, you feel like you gave value to the world instead of taking away from it. Let me actually give you an example for that. Let's look at the average guy, okay? The average guy, okay, he scrolls TikTok and then he watches 2 hours of TikTok a day and then he goes to sleep feeling like shit because it's been unproductive. He just wasted time. He just wasted resources by consuming the content that other people created. Now, compare this to the guy who actually produces TikTok videos, okay? And I know like TikTok is retarded and should you really be part of that economy? I'm not going to judge here, but the guy who produces TikTok videos, he, like let's say he spent 2 hours creating like a fire TikTok and then gets like maybe 90K views or something, he's going to go to bed feeling great about himself. Now let's connect this to attractiveness. Are girls going to fantasize about the TikTok consumer or are they going to fantasize about the TikTok producer? Well, obviously they're going to think, oh my God, you're a TikToker? Oh my God, that's so sexy. Like they're not going to say it like this, but they are going to be more attracted to the TikTok producer than the consumer. So I promise you, just trust in that rule, produce more than you consume, and you will become attractive even without looks next, even with all of this like, oh yeah, you have to do that. No, you just follow the rule, trust me. I can actually tell you a story about this magical aura that you just seem to get when you live like the successful lifestyle. There was this guy, I was working in a summer job and like I was selling wine. Pretty much, okay? So most of the customers were with like fucking ugly fucking people, like beer belly, and then like, just like average people, But then this light-skinned guy comes in, maybe like 25, he got a little bit of a beard going on, like a nice haircut, and somehow I just see him and I just think like, damn, like this guy has like the aura, I'm just thinking like, he's like literally the hottest guy I've seen in my 7-hour shift so far. Like something about him was just different, and I just realized, okay, this guy, he's different from the rest. He's like more sexy. Not even in a homo way, but you know what I mean. So later on, I actually find out that this guy is a basketball player and that he's like, oh yeah, he makes money playing basketball, professional athlete. And then everything clicked, then everything connected. I was like, oh yeah, makes sense. Like this guy is attractive because he actually lives a lifestyle that is fucking nice and just like that changes the way he carries himself, that changes the way he dresses. And this is what gave him this aura. So if you live a great lifestyle, for example, as a producer or as a professional athlete, which you can do, by the way, like the producer thing, at least, and the professional athlete, I don't know, but you can do that, then you're going to get this attraction from women. Now, this is the first thing I want you to do to build an attractive lifestyle. It will get you a long fucking way, but you will still need to talk to women to actually attract them into your life. Because, I mean, you can be this light-skinned guy, like super fucking attractive professional athlete. Girls are not going to approach you. You still need to be the guy who takes the first step because girls, they just like fucking, they're scared of you, honestly. And the more attractive you are, the more scared the girls are. And this is actually where courage comes in. Now, what is courage? Courage is the exact thing you need when you are in the gym, you're just hitting like your workout and then you see your gym crush coming in and you're thinking like, yeah, I gotta talk to her right now. And then your brain says, okay, I'm going to talk to her when my set is finished, and then she's in a set, and then you're going to cope further and you're going to say, okay, I'm going to talk to her when her set is finished. But then her friends come in and then you're saying, okay, I'll talk to her when her friend is gone, and then you don't fucking talk to her until she leaves the gym. You need courage when you're waiting for the perfect opportunity because courage literally allows you to say, shut the fuck up to that voice in your head that's saying, let's do it later, and then you can do it. So courage is an essential for dating because when you are the courageous guy and you're bold enough to speak to your crush, then you are going to be the guy who gets a number, who takes her on a date, and who pre-loves some other fucking chump's wife. Courage and lifestyle, they connect very nicely because what's going to happen when you follow the previous advice of producing more than you consume and you combine it with actually going up to girls and speaking to them. First of all, when you produce more than you consume, you're going to be an attractive guy, and then when you're an attractive guy and you speak to women, you're going to get a lot of attraction from them. You know why? When you see those TikTok of the women saying like, oh no, I don't want to be approached in the gym, what they're actually saying is they don't want to be approached in the gym by an ugly fucking loser. But like, imagine if like a fucking actor like Leonardo DiCaprio, if this girl was approached by Leonardo DiCaprio, she'd fucking give a fuck about if she wants to be approached in the gym. She'd be so fucking glad that Leonardo DiCaprio chose her out of all women on this planet to speak to. So you live a good lifestyle and you become attractive, girls will hope that you select them out of all the girls you're going to approach with courage. Okay, so I just gave you some bang advice for free. If you want to know everything I know, check out the first link in the description, full guide to the Northstar method. Otherwise, you can click and watch this video or subscribe to the channel right here. If you don't, I will pre-love your wife. I'll see you in the next one, bro.